Welcome to Balance Your Books, the podcast where accounting meets real world business with a little Gen X flair. We're your hosts, Keena,
April,
and Kimberly of Your Balance Partners. We believe your numbers tell a story, and we're here to help you understand it. We help entrepreneurs make strong financial decisions and build profitable businesses without the confusing accounting jargon.
join us as we break down the numbers, share real world insights, and help you gain the cash flow confidence you need to grow your business and protect your dreams.
We are back. Welcome to Balance Your Books podcast. Hello, ladies.
Hi, Keena.
Hi,
It is
Keena
so
and Kimberly.
lovely. So lovely to see you all today. So, before we get into an amazing topic for you all today, it's all about people, and we have an amazing guest with us. First, Kimberly, what do we always want to remind our listeners and viewers?
I want to remind you to always like, subscribe, and share. By now, I feel like all of you should be subscribers, but if not, subscribe to our podcast. Share it with your people. Anyone you think that can benefit from what we're talking about, share it. Leave us some comments. You can email us. You can get in contact with us. Just let us know that you're loving what we're doing because we're doing it for you. And so I'm going to hand it off to Keena so she can give you all the logistics about all that.
Yes, and so you can always find us on balanceyourbookspodcast.com as well as yourbalancepartners.com. That'll tell you a little bit more about our firm and what services we provide to small businesses. We also have what's called cash flow confidence. Bring the chaos, we'll sort it out. And we are going to have a lot more available to small business owners really soon around helping you grow your business. We see you, we've heard you, and we really think we can help you. So there'll be more there. That's our teaser. So for this particular podcast episode, most of ours are always about numbers and getting into the numbers and how you account for your numbers. But there's another huge piece of the puzzle, and that is around people, human beings. Human beings run businesses. And we have an amazing guest with us today, Anika Bowles, who we have connected with. It was simpatico how we came together years ago now. And it has been an amazing relationship. We have seen businesses go to their highs, to their mids, to their lows together. And we have learned from it. And we are so excited that she is here with us today. Hello, Anika.
Hi, ladies.
How are you?
Welcome to the Balance Your Books podcast.
Thank you so much. I love this. One of my favorite podcasts. So I like
Clip
I
it.
love the information. Absolutely. Absolutely.
So, Anika, tell everybody about you and who you are and your experience, and then we'll get into the weeds.
Okay. My name is Anika Bowles. I'm the founder and principal partner of Anika Bowles Consulting here based in Atlanta, but we have a national, hopefully soon global clientele. And we focus on the people operations for businesses based on my career in HR over, let's just say 20 plus years of corporate. And then I segued into small and mid-sized businesses because I felt that I was able to make a better impact there. I am a mom of three amazing humans. I had two boys first, so I was a boy mom for many years, and my daughter snuck in under the buzzer. So now I'm a girl mom. And I really do. First of all, you need to subscribe, follow. You need to put the bell on because these ladies know exactly what they're talking about. And also, as it relates to your business, not only is the information there, but the hands on and the practical knowledge that they share as a business partner. You really need to contact them if you're looking for your business because we have, as Keena said, we've seen businesses thrive, but we have also seen businesses not thrive because they didn't listen to the advice that they paid for.
Yeah.
So I'm a straight shooter. I'm going to be a straight shooter on this podcast. I'm a straight shooter when it comes to business because we've seen so much in so many years with people.
Right.
So, I'm
And I
excited
think
to
it's,
share.
yes, and it's because we care. We
Yes.
sincerely care and want you to be
Absolutely.
successful.
Want
And
you to be.
so, our topic for today is how to know if your business is people ready. How
Yes.
to know if your business is people ready. I
Yep.
think that is a key question. And
Yes.
why do you think you framed it that way? I know why you framed it that way, but tell our
Yeah.
listeners and viewers why you
Yes.
framed it that way.
Because we're going to talk about 5 things that you really ought to look at before you even bring anybody into your door. Because so many people think, they start a business and their business starts growing, and they immediate and or they have people who are like, I want to work for you. um, you have to be ready to be a business owner, but you also have to be super ready to be an employer because you need to know, like Keena said earlier, you need to be prepared to hire human beings. You're not hiring bodies, you're not putting bodies in seats, you're hiring people. And if you are not ready, it will become the bane of your existence and the detriment to your business. And we have seen uh, far too many businesses fail because they did not have the proper, not just processes, but mindset in place to hire people. So,
Yes, yes.
yeah.
And I think that the when you said that we not really paying attention to where your business is. So
Yes.
let's get into those 5 points.
Okay.
And so what's that first thing that people need to know?
The first one is you need to understand or know, you have to have clarity before you want to build capacity. A lot of people make mistakes, or business owners make the mistake of believing that because they are overwhelmed, they automatically need more people to help them divvy up the work. And that lack of clarity on, number one, what the work is. What work is it that you're trying to hand off? So you need to know what role you're hiring for. I've seen, we've worked with clients who want people to come in and, we're family here. The entrepreneurial spirit means that you are willing to wear many different hats. But when you go out and look for people, sometimes you think, I just want somebody to do this. And the reality is you have to have a full understanding of what you're asking people to do so that you can communicate that. Um, Understand what the workflows are so that you can communicate to them what they're going to be doing. So you're setting proper expectations. And if they cannot do the work, if they're not, who's going to check to see that they're doing work? Because I have clients who want to hire other people, and as soon as those people get in the door, they want to go on vacation. And then they're upset when they come back from said vacation and their business is struggling in a very short period of time because you haven't put an accountability structure in place. What is the role? What is the work they're going to be doing? Who's going to make sure that they're doing it? And how do you know they're doing a good job? How have you established metrics, or what are your success measures to make sure that they know they're doing a good job so they can self gauge and so you can give them feedback, kudos on that work. So the very first thing you need to establish is you need to have clarity before building capacity.
Ooh.
I like that.
And go ahead, Kimberly.
No, I was just saying I like that clarity before capacity.
Yeah.
If you don't have the infrastructure set and you start to grow, then that is a recipe for failure.
Yes.
And don't you have to be honest about, so in this clarity, you got to be honest about how much you can afford,
Yes.
right? So we
Yeah.
always kind of bring it back to the number side.
Absolutely.
But before you engage someone like Anika to help you, you've got to know that clarity is also in what you can afford financially,
Yes. Yes. And
and to not
also what
then
you can
go
afford to
outside
hear.
of that, right?
Yeah. And not just what you can afford in dollars, but what you can afford in time. You have to engage
Hmm.
with people that you're working with, who are working for you. what you can afford in your own capacity, right?
Mhm.
And you need to be clear about who you are as a leader. And we're going to talk about that a little bit because financial readiness we'll talk about is one of the points. But,
Mhm.
you know, are you prepared to be a business leader, right? And how are you able to not just have people who work for you, how are you able to scale and build those people up? So those are all embedded, all
Mhm.
that excellent, because that's embedded in the 5 points. So if you're okay, I'm gonna hop to number two,
Yeah, please.
the second one. So as we're clarifying and making sure that we have clarity, the next thing you need to do is write it down. Because if
You
you
want them
write
to
the
write it
vision,
down, not just in
write
their
it.
head.
Document.
I want you to
Like,
write
I
the
got it.
Document.
I
vision.
got it.
Yeah, no, I know what I want to do. I know I know what's in my mind. If I had $1 for every time I heard that. I know I have it in my mind. Have it in your mind or commit it to paper. Write the vision and make it plain. Documented processes
A
matter
little
so much
scripture.
more than your passion. So many people, oh, I'm so passionate about people until they have employees. You need to have, if you have ways that you do work, right? And especially, in an accounting firm, right? There are processes and steps that you need to follow. We have those. We have toolkits for when you're hiring, we're going to a client. What do you need to have in place when you are onboarding? That applies to, the marketing team. How do you onboard a client? So your documented processes matter a lot. You need to have standard operating procedures, SOPs, a rhythm of how you like things done according to your brand. What are those workflows that build up the agility for you and will increase or should increase with as you begin to build a work team? Great talent cannot thrive in chaos. People who are high performers and
Mm.
high achievers do not want to come in and clean your mess. They don't mind helping, building, and giving feedback, but they do not want to be the reason that you are disorganized. You were disorganized before they got there, and they're intelligent people, so they know that, right?
You got to
At
say
the
that
very
sentence
least,
again, Anika.
yeah, like
You got to
do
pause when you
not.
say that sentence again. That
Which
great,
one?
say
The
it again. Great
great
talent,
talent
what?
cannot thrive in chaos,
Great
and they
talent
will.
cannot thrive in chaos.
Yeah, and they won't stay. Great talent will not stay because they know that they know the value of the gifts that they bring. So they don't have to.
Mhm.
So at the very least, if you have, that very first person that you bring in, make sure that that's part of what they, what you're tasking them with is to write down standard operating procedures on the job that they're doing so that you over time, both of you, you're tweaking that sets the standard, and both of you have again that layer of accountability, that accountability structure in place.
So, Nika,
Hiring.
with those
Yep.
first two, though, I can hear a small business owner out there saying,
Mm-hmm.
well, I'm only going to hire like 1 or 2 people, and
Mm,
maybe one of them is an employee and one of them is a contractor. Do I
yeah.
really need to have all that just for 1 or 2 people?
Well, that's a great question. You hire that one employee, right? And they come in, and maybe the first one is great. But again, you're hiring humans. You're not just putting butts in seats. So that person may want to take a vacation. Maybe they're sick one day. And you now have to go into doing a task that you maybe have been away from, or maybe they're, maternity leave. Maybe you're a great organization and you want to have that rich culture, so you have maternity leave. What are you handing over to that person to say, these are the steps that we follow for this role or this company. This is the way we like things done. Or if there's a breakdown in customer satisfaction, you got a client that says, hey, I'm not getting what I'm paying for. You need to be able to go back to your process and say, where did we fall short? And so those documented processes and procedures are helping you scale. If you do it early, it's much easier for you to build on what you already have than it is for you once you're in the throes of volume and, customer urgency, and the market is hot and all those dollars are flying in. That won't be the time that you want to write an SOP because you're busy. Everybody's busy. And your team will look back at you and say, you want us to do what? My inbox is full. You want me to take time off to do what? So do that in the beginning. If again, if it works better in different ways when the new person comes in, give them the autonomy to tweak it, but constantly have that document as a living document for your organization, because again, that is going to set the standard for your company and your performance. Great talent will appreciate this because, they'd like to say, okay, this is what you've been doing. I can see, because I have experience in this area, some areas that we can tweak, but at least I kind of have a guideline.
And don't you
But,
think that um, when you don't have it, when you don't
mhm,
have the documentation, so the role clarity,
yep,
and then the documentation around the standard operating procedures,
yep,
SOPs,
hmm
the environment that you think you're creating is probably different than what you've actually created.
yes, because again, since you didn't write it down, everything is living in your head. It's just all up there flowing together. And so you see what you want to see often, because number one, if you're not writing things down, it's likely that you're also not communicating with your people in a structured and consistent way. So hiring does not solve operational dysfunction. So just
That's
like
another.
great
You gotta
talent,
pause. You gotta say that one
another
again.
one. So just like great talent cannot thrive in chaos, hiring does not solve operational dysfunction. If your and operational dysfunction is your culture until you do something to fix it. And that's usually when I come in. That's usually when people reach out to me. They've had an issue, there's something that has blown up, and they know they're about to get in trouble. I think we're going to be fined. And so here I come, and I'm like, okay, well, did you do this, and this? Much of what I'm telling you today. No, we were so busy, and we're like a family here. Okay. Let me tell you about
Oh,
my
how
family.
many times have you heard
And
that?
Right.
yes, yes, and that's a whole podcast. That's another podcast. If they tell you we're like a family here, run. Okay? Because there's a reason you don't hire your family members. There's a
Right.
reason,
Yes.
right? You have to do the work to build the culture that you're looking for. If you do not, starting with the people that work there, the culture that you have is the culture that exists. So when I come in and I talk to the people that are working for you, they're going to tell me about their day to day reality. I already talked to you, so I know, you sold me the lilies and, oh, we're like a family here and I've got some great talent, but you didn't tell me the 100% truth most times, right?
Hmm.
It's
Hmm.
usually, oh, we got so busy. And, everybody's really willing to pitch in to a point. They're willing to do that. But one thing that these structures put in place are boundaries, right? Everybody has a boundary. So when you know where your role ends, you know that, okay, my role is set to do these things. That means that if these things are outside of my function, we either need to problem solve for how those things are going to get done, or maybe we start looking at, is there enough volume in this capacity that I need to bring somebody in? But that takes you back to that first step, which is clarity before
Clarity.
capacity.
Yes.
So all of these things are working together to help you understand, not just the work, just not just the financial impacts, because that's huge, because dissatisfaction costs your business a lot of money. And you can
Mm-hmm.
start to see it. One of the things I look at when I go into a larger organization are PTO trends. Because when people are happy, they take normal, they make normal. Yeah, and when I say normal, 2 or 3 days,
Well, explain what
once a
PTO
week.
is, because people may not know what
Explain. Oh,
PTO is.
PTO,
PTO.
personal time off. Personal time off is something that is offered by some companies, a lot of larger companies, but also smaller organizations offer personal time off. Sometimes and that's usually paid. Obviously, it is paid, and it's either accrued or they just give it to you, right? An accrual means that you've got to work a certain number of hours to receive a certain number of hours. So if I come into an organization, and unless somebody's, taking a long trip, they've planned for it, and I see them all of a sudden, I see requests for 6 days, 8 days, lots of PTO requests, lots of time off requests. I know that there's something going on in your organization, because people do not want to be there.
Mm-hmm.
And if business owners are honest, and you're communicating with your team regularly, you also are noticing patterns of workflow, work stagnation, work decline in their performance. But these are things that are part of your culture because you're not, right? There's some areas that we didn't visit or we didn't focus in on before that person was brought in.
So, but Nico, so like
Yep.
if but they've got paid time off, PTO,
Yep.
and they
Mm-hmm.
want to take it. So
Yep.
what kind of, which you also want people to be healthy, happy, and take their vacation and things like that, right?
Mhm.
So how is that different than, like, what kind of trends drive just people taking vacation versus,
Mhm.
you know,
I'm not happy.
I'm not happy?
Burn.
Like
Yeah,
what do
burn
you
it.
see? What are those kind of things that you
Mhm.
see or have
Number
seen?
one is burnout. And burnout from the very things that we just talked about, right? Because great talent cannot thrive in chaos. So if there is chaos, right? And they start to feel not just the weight, and again, these are your top performers first, because the majority of the time, the top performers are the ones who are your workhorses. They're the ones who are carrying the load. They're the ones who step in and say, okay, there's a deficit here. And, sometimes that's impacting their job. So if I just help over here, that makes my job easier. Um, they take on more because they have the capacity for more from a talent perspective. But here's the other thing: you start to lean on them as a business owner and that's why that role clarity is so important, and why you need to continue discussing how that role is either changing or how they're developing in that role. Because if they are doing more work than they are being paid for, and so many business owners confuse their responsibility as the owner of the business with their employees. It's not your
Mm-hmm.
employee's job to think about this company 24 hours a day like you do. And I actually had a CEO ask me. He one of the things I had to say. We're not on the same page. He wanted me to help him figure out how to get the employees to spend more time thinking about the company and bringing those new ideas back in. And I said, you want their out of office hours. What you need to be doing is creating a culture where they have in office hours and time to do that. And so that's a flag, right? That's where you
Right.
start having role creep, right? Because you don't have those boundaries for yourself, so you don't have that boundary for your employees. It is, and please, business owners,
And
it's your business. It is not your
and
Right.
well,
employee's
that's the
job.
thing. That's the
Yeah,
thing that what every business owner needs to understand is your employees do not love the business to the same level you do. And
yeah.
that's not a problem.
That's
Right.
That's the
not a
thing, that they
problem.
think it's a
That's right.
problem
It's
that
not.
that person is
Right.
not all in. And it's like, no, it's your business. So you love
Yeah.
it. You're the one who
Yes.
sacrificed everything to start this business. And that's
Correct.
great. But
Right.
you should not expect that from an employee.
No. And you shouldn't expect them to, when you're feeling frustrated because there are things, challenges within the business, it's not their job to shoulder that stress either. They still expect to be paid because they're still working. They still expect to get
Mm-hmm.
information about what's going on as it relates to their, performance, to the company, the things that impact them. And it is, there is a separation. That whole, we're like a family here. Some people feel like that, some owners take that to mean that, we're in this together. We're not in this together. I came here to do a job. I also came here to be paid for that job. And so if there's something that is going to impact that, or impact my ability to, be successful in my job, the business owner's responsibility is to make sure that they have a problem solve for that. And that is part of the formula. And brings me to the next point, which is the financial readiness is people readiness. Can your business support humans and not just workers? And a lot of companies bring in, they struggle with which is, we're not talking about today, the contractor versus employees, because that's a very rich and involved conversation that has legal temperaments and also limitations. that you need to know as a
Yes.
business owner, because let me tell you, I have definitely worked with owners who did not properly make that distinction, and the money that they think they're saving by not bringing somebody on as an employee, they paid that and then some in fines. And in
That's
addition, have
right.
to bring somebody
Yep.
in like me, right, to fix it. So,
Yep.
that financial readiness is, can you pay people consistently, even during the slow season? If you
Consistently. Can
consistently,
we stop and
Yeah.
consistently? Thank you.
yes,
Yes.
We need to
Yes.
yes,
highlight that. Just because
highlight
you can
because
pay somebody today, we got to
yes,
make sure you can pay them next month too.
that's right. Right. And that means that you have already talked to your balanced partners, right? You have a forecast, a cash forecast that you're operating on that is laid out for the next 12 months based on a budget and a business plan that you have. So you've already done some work. Again, you've already done some work, clarity before capacity, to know that you have the dollars to afford this person. And you have a structure that sustains workloads with clear expectations. That workload includes supplies. That workload is going to include subscriptions to different infrastructure and software that they need to organize not just their thoughts but your
Hmm.
business. You're expecting one person to
Right.
come in and just to use their own laptop and use their own subscriptions. If that is your thought process, break. Stop. You're not ready. Right? Because if they use their own
Right.
software, they're taking your proprietary information with them if and when they depart. But also
Yes.
you don't have a
Yep.
security system in place for your proprietary
Security.
information. So it's okay to start small, start smart and small.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Um are
And
you
yeah, I think that yeah, so the I know you're kind of going into the technology. I think was point four, right?
yes, technology and communication readiness. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
But
I'm
that's
sorry.
oh no, but that's still part of your financial readiness, right? You still have to pay for those things.
Mm-hmm.
Are you prepared to offer financial readiness? We talked about PTO. Can you pay people when they're not working? And that, can you afford PTO? If
And
not,
just
those
for on the financial, can you give a little bit? Can you give a little bit of what are those extra things that you
yes.
typically pay for when you have an employee? So it's
Okay.
not just people think like if this person makes $60,000 a year, I'm gonna take
Hmm.
$60,000 $60,000 divided by 12. That's the
Hmm.
money I need in order to
Hmm.
pay for an employee.
No. So that's a
So
great
what
point.
are those other? Just kind of list some of those.
Yep. So based on your state tax laws, sometimes you do have to pay state tax. Every state has a different tax structure. Federal taxes you're paying into the Social Security Administration, you're paying, Medicare, you're
Like
paying
who's
for that
FICA?
FICA. Exactly, right? And that's part of the who is FICA? They haven't come to do a day of work, but you still have to pay them. You may have to pay a county tax. You may have to pay a city tax, right? California is a whole other animal. Um, and so, depending on the state that you live in, you by law may have to pay for parental leave for a certain number of weeks. When your employee happens to have a baby, and that doesn't mean delivers a baby. That means has a baby or has a child enter their household. You also, there we
Yep,
go.
through adoption,
Adoption.
foster, adoption.
Also, you have to pay for unemployment insurance, right? You had to pay for unemployment insurance so that for all your employees, for every employee. You're also paying for unemployment insurance, and this is just a short little caveat on the contractor versus employee. If you do not handle your contractors properly, they also will be able to draw against your unemployment insurance if they are not handled properly and the state Department of Labor decides that they should have been an employee. So that might be a topic in and of itself.
Yeah, we'll
And
have to do that
so
as a separate
Yeah, we have
topic.
to do that another
yeah,
time.
yeah, the contractors. And so and then also financial what you have to pay for if you're offering benefits. If you are offering benefits, there's certain capacities for numbers of employees in certain states. 50 up to 50 states, you may have to share in the cost for health insurances. There are certain things at a federal level that you have to do for certain numbers of employees. So there are lots of different monetary assignments that come as soon as that person walks in the door. Short-term disability, long-term disability, life insurance. Not only that cost you because you're an employee, but because you want a certain level of employee. In order to get a person at a certain level in their
Who you
career,
attract.
you want exactly
Hmm.
your talent attraction retention strategy is going to be, and that's one of the points. Are you total rewards ready? And total rewards is not just their salary, it's all of the others, a total compensation package. What are you offering me, the person, for my talents to come and work for your business? And so those are things you want to look at. One of the things I do when my clients say, I'm ready for this, I think we need to hire this role, I go do a cost analysis of what it will cost them to hire that person from a remote perspective, locally, what can they expect to pay? I give them a range based on the skill set that they're requiring. So, how many years of experience are you looking for? This is the price tag for that person. And then, how much overall that person is going to cost you. Sometimes they have somebody in mind. And we talk about with that candidate, what's your total compensation? What are you looking for? And so while you might be paying them $60,000 in salary, you may be spending 75 to $82,000 in total cost, total compensation for that person.
I was just about to say, as a starting point,
Hmm.
anytime that I've forecasted people, I've always taken salary plus 20%,
Yep.
just as a
Yep.
starting point.
Yes.
Um, to
Yep.
so it's not the specific number, but at a minimum,
Hmm.
it's usually about another 20%
Yeah.
more than their salary.
2025. Yes. And here's a thing, you come up with from a recruiting standpoint, you also want to figure out how are you going to get those people in the door? How are you recruiting those people?
Hmm.
You can put an ad on LinkedIn, but you need to figure out, do I have the time to interview? Do I have the skill set? Do I really know how to attract top talent? Sometimes the way that necessity is that you do put it on LinkedIn. That's a great place to list a role, but how am I going to get these people in the door? If you know that you're looking for a specific individual, you know that you need to hire somebody, a recruiter, or someone to do that for you. If you don't have an internal administrative or HR professional already, that's going to cost you money as well. And so when you're looking at the overall cost, the most expensive asset in any company is going to be its people. And there's a reason
Hmm.
for that, because you need people to sell to people. We talk about business to consumer, business to business. There's still people on both sides of that relationship. So financial. So
Right.
we talked about we hit 3 points today on
Yeah.
deciding
I
if
think we
you're
may have
ready.
to, because these are so good, Anika. I think we should do a part two
Okay.
that gets 4 and 5,
Okay. And then I
because
have a
I want to
bonus
make
too.
sure. Yeah, I
Oh, she
want to
got a
make
bonus.
sure. Oh, and a bonus. So four,
And a
five, and a
bonus.
bonus.
And a
So
bonus.
we're
Yep.
going to put those separate because we want to make sure that our business owners get this data. This is really
Absolutely.
important, that clarity before capacity,
That's right.
that they have their processes documented,
Yep.
that they are financially ready. So the full
Yes.
total reward cost
Yep.
is
Yep.
in there.
And
And I
consistency.
loved those. I highlighted those, yours. We're going to put these sentences on a t-shirt.
Yep.
The
Yeah.
great talent cannot thrive in chaos.
Mm-mm.
That's right. Great
Hiring
talent
doesn't
cannot thrive
solve
in
this
chaos.
operational dysfunction.
That's right. That's right.
All of
Because
that.
operational confusion in your
And
culture is your culture.
Yep.
say that again.
I said operational confusion in your culture is your culture until you do something
Mm,
intentional to fix it.
yes. Well, okay, so we're going to pause here. We are
Yep.
going, Kimberly, anything to add?
I just want to add this. Since we're going to do a part two podcast land, if you have any questions about those first 3 points that we talked about with Anika, please email us at balanceyourbookspodcast@gmail.com. Or if you're on YouTube, post a comment and we can make sure we infuse that into our next session with Anika.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Because
I
we
love
definitely,
interaction.
these are so big that we've seen this take down companies. Companies
Yes.
have gone bankrupt because they did not
Yes.
understand these points. And so that's why I want to make sure we give enough time to understand it, to have our business owners digest this information and come
Yeah.
back and give you more. So we're going to let your belly get full, digest it,
Absolutely.
and then we're going to give you more to eat.
Yes,
Right.
yes.
And also, if
Awesome.
like some of these things that they've
So,
tried them, if they've tried them and they want to put that feedback in, they try them and they put it in, that would be great too.
Yeah,
yes,
let
yes.
us
What
know.
worked well, what didn't work well.
Yep,
Yes.
awesome.
Okay. Well, we have got now. We got to before we go. I know we've hit you with a lot, so now we're gonna do our shooting the topic of the day. And since we have Anika, congratulations. She mentioned she had
Thank
a
you.
daughter, and her
Yes.
daughter is going to high school.
She
Yes.
is. She's so
And so,
excited.
and yes. And so since me and Kimberly are out of that whole realm, we were like, what's going on with 14-year-olds right now? What are they into? What are 14-year-old girls into? We are all about empowering girls. And
Yes.
so we're like, wait, we need to know more about what are they into right now.
Yes.
So give us some insight.
So one of the things I love is that she's exploring her own style, and I want to give her room to be an individual. And so part of that, though, individual but with boundaries. I
Right.
am becoming woman. Hear me roar with some bumper pads, like with brakes, right? Safety, the little tricycle brakes, right? Little training wheels, right?
Right.
Right.
So right now we have a
Yes.
list. We have a Pinterest board of our look for freshman year. But the things that we focus on the most are our hair, our lashes, nails. What are those three things going to be? And that was not something. Hair,
And
yes,
that
when I
is
was 14.
hilarious to me.
Yeah, yeah. The lashes is
Lashes.
fun.
Hair, lashes, and nails.
Nails.
Like we did
Yes.
not do lashes.
Mm-mm. We
No.
didn't do nails,
No.
really.
My mom
Well,
didn't even
you're not
like
the
my
lead
mom.
press on? You didn't do the lead press on?
I mean, I would
Nah,
paint
I
my
mean,
nails, but
yeah. I mean,
mm-mm.
you have to think now. This might,
Not to
No?
a
when we
high
were coming
degree.
up, nails was not. I mean, we did, but it wasn't. It wasn't mainstay. It wasn't a requirement when we were coming up. Now it is a requirement. I mean, she's
No.
It
been
was
getting her
for
nails
things.
done
It
since
was
she
for
was
things like
5.
prom.
Right,
She's
So
been
when
getting
right.
you
her
say
nails
like
done
what
since
kind of
she was
nails is
5.
she trying to do?
Oh, the ones that you see with all of the accoutrement on them with the color and the jewels. I was like,
Oh, and the
I just
jewels and all that?
yes, the 3D flower, or is it 3D? Yes, 3D, three-dimensional charms. And I'm like, from a sanitation perspective,
Yeah.
I
That's what I think.
yes, but so she's in there doing all because the nail it causes your hand to flex out, right? Because you're only working with the tips. You can't mess with the nails. So yes, and I guess
Right.
that's why you got to have your hair already done because you can't be in there messing with it every day. She's at a this there's a
So we
lot
have
going on there. There's a lot.
we have
That's why
learned something new.
let me tell you,
And
I
then the
learned new things.
lashes. Like how big are we talking about with these lashes? Because I've
So
seen some where they look like
they're
the
gonna fly.
puppet? The puppet?
Yes. No.
What? What'd you say?
I
Anika,
have
I have to stay on Kina about not getting canceled
Oh.
with the way she says things. So I'm trying to catch her before she before she.
yeah.
But yes, the lashes. Let's talk
Because some of our
about.
clients, our clients definitely are lash girlies. That's my the lash girlies, makeup girlies, lash girlies.
Yes.
Yeah, we have a limit. So you need there's a certain, and the crazy part to me, and I tell her this all the time, with the hair and the she's got extremely thick luscious hair. So even when she was little, I said people add hair to their hair to look like yours. You don't have
To look like your hair.
to look
Right.
like your hair.
Yes.
That's what they're going for. They want what you have. And even her lashes, she's got long, pretty
Right.
lashes, always has. I said, all you need is, even clear mascara. You
If
don't
you want to
even
whip
need
some
the,
mascara.
yes. But
Yeah.
because the girls that she goes to school with, the girls that she goes to church with, they come in, especially the older girls, and they have full, I don't even know how, honestly, and I do lashes. I mean, I like a little makeup. I do. For when you're doing
Yeah.
different things. Skincare. We started on the skincare, and skincare was, you
Yes.
know, yeah, because your skin, everything has to be tea, right? Everything's got to be tea. Your skin is
Yes.
tea.
Yes.
So my thought is, if our skin is
Wait,
tea,
the
we don't
skin
need
is
makeup.
tea?
Skin is tea, girl. If your
Tina,
skin
leave
is
that
beautiful,
alone.
it
Tina,
Okay.
is
leave that
tea.
alone. Just
It's tea, and that's the goal.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's the goal to be for your
mm-hmm.
skin to be tea. Um,
Oh,
but
yeah,
I
absolutely.
think it is interesting, and like I said, I want her to express herself because my boys did. Their thing was the hair, all the different hair, the
Mm-hmm.
curls, the twists, the locks. And when you're young, I think, or at any time, right? Not just when you're young, obviously, because I have red hair. You express yourself, but also focusing on the foundation, what you already have. And so that's what I try to encourage is that I
Right.
want you to express, but let's not you lose sight of what you already have. And also, my little mantra has been pretty is a distraction. So let's stay focused. Let's keep the main thing, but also I want
Right.
you to, pretty can be a distraction. So
Yeah,
that
but
is
pretty
the
hurts, as
Hmm.
Beyonce said.
well, we don't want it to hurt. We
Yes.
not trying to, we not the
We
what the
don't want it to
topics.
hurt, but
We don't
yes.
want it to hurt because then Mama got to get involved, based on Beyonce songs.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Mama has to get involved. But
Exactly.
yeah, that's different. But if you want to put on a little, and when I say a little lash, a little, because you have to, her thing also with the lashes, they have numbers for the length. So she'll come in and say, well, what lash map did you use for that, Mom? And so now she thinks she is my she's my, not, what is it, judge? I want to say judge, but it's not. It's my coach. She's my
She's your
coach.
coach.
Yeah,
Yeah.
He's
my
your
beauty
fashion
coach.
Well, we
coach.
need her to coach all of us. I wasn't aware there were numbers. So,
Yeah,
Oh yes, there's
you're
numbers,
learning something
different
new.
different lengths. Each lash, for a lash cluster. She likes the clusters. So
okay.
yeah,
Well, I just want to let the girlies know you're beautiful
yeah.
right where you stand. Right where you stand
Amen.
as you
A-
are. If you want
Amen.
to enhance it, but no,
Absolutely.
you are amazing and beautiful.
Absolutely.
So, well, thank you so much, Anika. This is
You're
just
so
part
welcome.
one. So we will be having you back to finish it up. We
Excellent.
thank our Balance Your Books podcast community out there. We hope that this information continues to help your business grow.
Absolutely.
And we'll see
Yes.
you next time.
Until next time. Bye bye.
Bye.
That's a wrap for today's episode of Balance Your Books. We hope today's conversation helped you gain a little more financial clarity and cash flow confidence.
If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe, rate, and review us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. And don't forget to follow our YouTube channel, Balance Your Books. For more resources and episodes, visit balanceyourbookspodcast.com.
And if you're ready for strategic financial guidance to help you understand your numbers and protect your dream, connect with the team at yourbalancedpartners.com.
Until next time, remember, understand your numbers, protect your dreams.